From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Hundreds of thousands of renters are at risk of eviction, putting families and Indiana's economy at risk.
Indiana's COVID cases, deaths, and hospitalizations continue to increase. Vaccines are offering hope, but frontline workers say they have a tough road ahead.
Simple set of questions. Do you know that you're positive? Yes, I did find that out.
Tracking the spread of COVID, a COVID-19 survivor shares his experience with contact tracing. Hear his story just ahead.
Still on schedule, the warm-up is on the way when you'll have the feel of 55 degrees.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Continued concerns tonight that the pandemic could force central Indiana families out of their homes. The federal moratorium on evictions is set to expire in little more than 3 weeks. Nationwide, last month, 9 million Americans said they were behind on rent. WRTV's Stephanie Wade breaks down the numbers here in Indiana and what this could do to the economy and thousands of households.
Places to find rental assistance throughout this pandemic. And right now, up to 250,000 Hoosiers are at risk of being evicted. When the CDC national moratorium expires at the end of this month, experts say anywhere between 40,000 and 80,000 households are at immediate risk of eviction.
The eviction crisis isn't going away, and in fact, it's about to crest again.
Andrew Bradley, who leads Prosperity Indiana, says if Congress doesn't release additional rent relief, the state will soon have to make some hard decisions to prevent thousands of Hoosiers from becoming homeless come January 1st.
We've heard about a plan that could provide $25 billion for rental assistance, and that's about a quarter of what we need to get through 2021. So if our Indiana senators act, Todd Young and Mike Braun can be champions on those bills, then that could really make a difference for at least 100,000 Hoosier families that are at risk of eviction.
Bradley says up to 250,000 are behind on rent in our state because of unemployment or lost hours due to the pandemic, predicting multiple waves of evictions.
Indiana historically has had really high eviction rates compared to our neighbors in the Midwest and compared to the U.S. average. So there is definitely this pre-existing housing stability crisis, really.
Even worse at risk is continuing the spread of the coronavirus as people are forced out of their homes.
It has a real danger to exacerbate the spread of the virus throughout the state, and then that ultimately just damages the economy and the public health for everyone.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
About 17,000 households have been served by the Indiana COVID-19 Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Marion County's program has served about an additional 12,200 households. Unfortunately, the Marion County program stopped accepting applications last week. You can still visit indyrent.org to sign up for notifications about when they might offer help again. And if you apply for state assistance at indianahousingnow.org, you will be put on a wait list.
More than 6,000 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. Today's update from the State Department of Health includes 124 new coronavirus deaths, most of which took place in the last week. 5 deaths reported today took place on Wednesday the 2nd, making it the deadliest day of the pandemic so far. Indiana is now averaging 57 COVID deaths a day. A predicted increase in hospitalizations continues. As of Monday, 3,250 people are in Indiana hospitals with COVID-19. 21% of the state's ICU beds are available, but keep in mind that percentage could be much lower depending on the facility. A frontline worker familiar with the strain on hospitals and toll COVID is taking on lives is sharing his thoughts in a video diary. A chaplain with IU Health Methodist says almost a year into the pandemic, it's clear this won't be over anytime soon.
We know how to use our protective equipment. We have a really good idea of what will keep us safe, this mask, and I have different kinds of masks. I have a face shield. And we know how it spread, and we feel very confident about that. But I noticed that in myself and those around me that there's a low level of stress, kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop and waiting for it to get worse. I heard that it might peak next week, and I thought this is going to last forever, or at least until 2022. I'm sort of prepared for it to last for a while.
On Thursday, Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine could receive emergency use authorization from the FDA. Tomorrow, we expect to hear more from Governor Holcomb and the state's medical experts about distributing a vaccine to Hoosiers. You can watch that update live right here on WRTV.
More than a quarter of Hoosiers who are getting tested for COVID-19 for the first time are finding out that they're positive for the virus. Between November 25th and December 1st, Indiana's rate of positivity for unique individuals was 27.6%. Since the pandemic began, the rate is about 17%. Now, these rates do not include healthcare workers or others who are tested repeatedly. With more Hoosiers testing positive for COVID-19 every day, part of the work during the pandemic includes contact tracing. WRTV's Troy Washington spoke with people who have had the virus to find out how this process works.
When Brent Lyle got this text message, he was too sick to respond right away.
I was at a point in that sickness where I didn't really want to engage with anyone. It was painful to talk because it's almost like any time I would breathe too hard or speak.
He was diagnosed with the coronavirus back in August.
I know exactly where it came from.
He knows he got the virus from a relative, but still the Indiana State Department of Health wanted to make sure they did contact tracing.
Actually reached out to me through email, text, and phone call.
Once he was finally up to talking, here's what he says the process is like.
It was simple set of questions. Do you know that you're positive? Yes, I did find that out. Do you know who you have been around in the past X number of days since the first symptoms that you felt? Yes, I do. And can you identify if anyone within the last 72 hours has been exposed to you who wasn't already in quarantine with you?
Larika Watson is a social worker. She was diagnosed with COVID-19 in April. She says back then she didn't get the call Lyle is talking about.
I never received a phone call. I just knew based off what the CDC had recommended was to pretty much stay in home. I called my supervisor. I was like, hey, I tested positive. Here are my results. Can you please find somebody to see my client?
Recently, there's been a big push by the health department to slow the spread through interviewing people with COVID-19 and using that information to reach others.
For us, I think it just is it's almost like a social or personal responsibility.
Working for you, Troy Washington, WRTV.
We asked the Marion County Health Department about the trends they're seeing when it comes to COVID-19 transmission. They directed us to a map of the state's hotspots, which you can find right now at WRTV.com.
And Mark, we spent the entire day with temperatures in the 30s. That's where we're at now. 36 in Indianapolis with mostly cloudy skies. That will keep these temperatures from falling too much as we go through the evening hours. Let's talk about some headlines. The warm-up starts tomorrow. It peaks on Friday. Rain returns as we get into the weekend, probably overnight and then through the day Saturday. That's when the rain is most likely, followed by much colder air to end the weekend. Just want to show you, there's the cloud cover we have now. I've got a broad view here because I want you to see the developing weather system that will start to come out of Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico. There it is. That will build to the north and east and become our rainmaker Friday night and Saturday. Temperature trend, as you can see, up, up, and up until we fall a little bit on the Saturday. Temperature by Friday up to 55. That's the warm spot. We'll talk about how much rain we may see and if clouds break enough, what you might see this evening flying overhead coming up.
Noblesville Youth Baseball League is asking you to keep an eye out for some of their property that was stolen sometime Monday night. Noblesville Babe Ruth Baseball says their rigid toolkit is missing, along with their red 4x8 trailer with new decking. If you see these things for sale or know anything, let Noblesville police know. Babe Ruth Baseball, which is a nonprofit group, says the thieves are also responsible for several $1,000s worth of damage.
Carmel is cracking down on the operating hours of a tavern that has led to multiple complaints recently. Today, the city announced the Goat will have to close at 2 in the afternoon from now on instead of 3 a.m. In a press release, the city says the owners of the original property had a variance that included hours of operation for a breakfast and lunch cafe, not a tavern. Carmel says the Goat will have to apply for additional variance for a zoning change if it wants to stay open later than 2 p.m.
Homeowners in Shelby County are celebrating a win after they pushed county leaders to set up tougher standards for solar development projects.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Aye. Approved 2-1.
Shelby County Commissioners approved a new set of rules from the Plan Commission governing the installation of solar farms. Homeowners spent months pushing for more regulations, despite concerns that not enough was done to protect prime farmland and property values. People say they will be vigilant if and when solar companies apply to set up their operations.
If they decide to come in, we will most definitely be present at those meetings, asking questions, wanting answers.
You know, we actually made some steps forward. There are some things I would like to see differently within the way the ordinance is. Some improvements that could still happen, but it was a step in the right direction.
Utah-based S-Power has expressed an interest in Shelby County, but the company has not filed any official paperwork.
Still ahead on the news at 6, Colton Herta talks about his new look. But first,
like, seriously? Like, who is responsible for this?
A silly situation that could trick you out of your money or your personal info. A warning about ads for products that are not what they seem as we continue counting down the 12 scams of Christmas.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Like many of us during the pandemic, there's a chance you've been spending more time on social media and doing more of your holiday shopping online. But a word of warning tonight about products that show up on your Facebook or Instagram feeds. Mallory Suffolk with our Scripps News partners in Baltimore is counting down the 12 scams of Christmas.
Shay Hainsworth was served up an ad for a rainbow Christmas tree, and she jumped at it. A few weeks later, her package arrived. It wasn't what she was expecting. Take a look.
Yo! This is a rainbow Christmas tree! Yo! This is a Christmas tree! I ordered off the internet!
Shock and amusement. Queen Shaydonna Hainsworth had been expecting this, but was sent this.
Like, seriously? Like, who is responsible for this?
She got it from a website called Iridescent to You after an ad popped up on her Instagram feed.
I love rainbow everything. And so I'm like, okay, a rainbow Christmas tree. Why not? This should be fun.
When she paid the $34 for shipping, it went to some company called Yokawa Network Limited. And then this sad feather duster lookalike arrived a few weeks later.
Yeah! It's missing a leg! What the
Shay didn't try contacting the company or returning the item. She figured it's a lesson learned. And that's what these website creators are banking on.
The scammer or the schemer clearly made a profit. Most of these items are made overseas. So to return the item, you would actually have to ship to China, or you would have to ship to an outside country, and the cost is going to be phenomenal.
Before ordering anything from social media ads or unfamiliar sites, look at the contact page, the business address, Google it to see if it exists. Is there a working phone number, email? And use a credit card when shopping online.
worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life!
While it's nothing close to what she ordered, Shay said she's keeping the tree.
I'm determined now. Like, it's mine. I might as well go and get the ornaments I was going to put on it. Now I'm defiant. I'm getting that tree.
Shay said she has a $15 BS limit. That's what she's comfortable losing if she wants something but isn't sure about the website. But be careful, because with some of these sites, it's not just money you're losing. You're also handing over your personal and payment information. With your 12 scams of Christmas, I'm Mallory Safaste.
I'll pass this along just in case, in the outside chance you'll get a chance to see the space station fly over this evening. Cloud cover is the obstacle. We have not broken through the clouds all day long. 6:34. A steady white light would appear on the northwest horizon, moving to about 60 degrees above, so well above the horizon, disappearing in the southeast at 6:40. Most of us, 98% of us, will not be able to see that. That's my prediction. So let's talk about when there'll be a change in our weather. Obviously warmer the next couple of days, but as we get to the weekend, things really change. Wet Saturday, windy as well, temperatures in the low 50s. Then much colder air sweeps in for the second half of the weekend. The area that will bring the rain is still in the southwest U.S. now. It will wind up, gain strength, pull the warmer air into the Hoosier state, and deliver rain overnight Friday and into much of Saturday. As far as rainfall potential, models are hinting at a widespread soaking rain once again. Could see as much as an inch of rain in spots and a little more to the north and west. Temperatures right now with a cloudy sky at 36 degrees. Our temperature range today, 7 degrees, from 32 this morning to 39 this afternoon, and we still sit in between. You'll notice the wind tonight and into the morning. It will gust at times out of the southwest, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Northern Indiana may see slightly stronger winds. Tomorrow, the biggest change after we break up the morning cloud cover, sunshine in the afternoon, temperature about 50 in Indy, warmer to the southwest, where I think that you'll get the sunshine a little bit earlier in the day. Thursday, we won't play the waiting game. We should have sunshine and clear skies first thing in the morning, temperatures in the afternoon into the low 50s. That sets the stage for even warmer temperatures to end the week. There are the temperatures in western Indiana in the low to mid 50s, as you can see on Thursday. Friday, any rain should hold off, I think, until later Friday night. And Saturday, quite wet and windy. Temperatures fall during the afternoon hours from that 52-degree temperature. Sunday and Monday, 38 degrees, back a little below average for this time of year. But indications are, again, beyond the 7-day forecast, we'll see these temperatures start to climb above average once again. Amanda?
Kevin, thank you. One of IndyCar's top young drivers will have a new look to his ride for the 2021 season. Colton Herta will be sporting the colors and sponsorship of Gainbridge for Andretti Autosport. Herta will also now race the 26 car, a number he had in his early days racing go-karting. He had 7 top 5 finishes and 1 race victory driving the 88 for Andretti this past season. Herta finished 3rd in the points championship. Gainbridge has become a big player in the series, including the presenting sponsor of the Indy 500. Our Brad Brown spoke with Colton earlier today.
It's a super big deal to be able to carry that name in such a reputable company, and that does so much for IndyCar racing. They sponsored the 500 this year. They sponsored the Speedway, and obviously they put a lot of money into IndyCar as a whole.
You got a ton of momentum coming off of last season. What made that all work so well every weekend? It seemed you guys went out.
I think we had really good cars for the most part. The pit stops were amazing week in and week out. And then obviously we had great strategy. Got a little lucky at some points, but for the most part, we had the pace to back it up.
IndyCar's 2021 season is scheduled to begin on March 7th in St. Petersburg, Florida. Purdue takes the court tonight as the annual Big Ten ACC Challenge tips off. 2 of college basketball's top conferences going head-to-head. Purdue playing at Miami. It's the 20th year for the league's 2 matchup. Purdue's 11-8 record in that span is the best among Big Ten teams. IU plays tomorrow night at Florida State.
The pandemic has led to record levels of unemployment, which is why WRTV's commitment to hiring Hoosiers is more important than ever. We're connecting you to job opportunities that are available right now with our Hiring Hoosiers job feed. Cornerstone Autism Center is hiring full-time applied behavior analysis therapists for several locations across central Indiana. The company is opening a new center next month in Avon, and they're looking to train employees. Benefits include insurance, on-the-job training, and the chance to earn certifications. The Indiana Department of Correction is holding a virtual hiring event on Saturday. They're looking to hire corrections officers, but you don't need to wait for the event to apply. Pay starts at $19 an hour. You can check out Indiana DOC on Facebook to learn more. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is hiring remote accreditation managers. You can work remotely enforcing the USDA's national organic standards. You can apply online at usajobs.gov. You can find these jobs and many more on our job board at hiringhoosiers.com. We also have a link to the application process. Plus, check out the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. Companies also post open positions there. There is still time to donate to the 20th annual WRTV Toy Drive. With your help, we've collected several truckloads of toys and thousands of dollars. But along with our community partners, we're still working to make sure every central Indiana kid has something to smile about this holiday season. You can still drop off new unwrapped toys at 17 U-Store locations or make a monetary donation right from your phone. Just visit WRTV.com/Toy Drive.
And one more chance to donate is coming up on Friday at the Indy Fuel home opener. The annual teddy bear toss will look a little different this year to follow COVID safety guidelines. Fans can toss stuffed animals into bins in the lobby instead of onto the ice. But I will still be skating with Nitro, and we hope to see you there.
That's you right there.
That's me from last year.
Look at you.
And a sparkly dress. I need to find another one of those for this weekend.
If you lose your balance, Amanda, remember Nitro can cushion the fall. Temperature 50 tomorrow afternoon. That's with sunshine.
I want to thank you for joining us here on the news at 6. Up next is World News with David Muir. We'll see you back here at 7.